Welcome back to the Knowledgeable Programmer channel. This is the series where we go to Codecademy Learn&Express course, and we're doing this course together with Lloyd, who's a trainee developer, and he's learning the back end. We're documenting this journey so it's helpful to you guys who may also be doing this course.
Express.router. So an express router provides a subset of express methods. To create an instance of one, we invoke the .router method on the top level express import. To use a router, we mount it at a certain path using app.use and pass it in the router as the second argument. This router will now be used for all paths that begin with that path segment. To create a router to handle all requests beginning with /monsters, the code would look like this.
So yeah, basically when you want to create a router, which will help you clean up your code and be able to move these routes to a different file, so your app.js gets a little bit cleaner and less code. You started with express.router and calling router as a function. And once you have that, you use the app.use, you give it a path or for which all of the router's routes will be listening to. So if it starts with /monsters and you pass that to monster router, then the monster router routes like the get will prepend the /monsters before the /id. So the complete path would be /monsters/id matching to a get request in the monsters router.
So it says here, create an expression router instance of express.router, mount it at /expressions at your base app level with app.use. After doing so, create a route for your expressions router that will send all expressions for a get request. So like it says there, I'm going to, just in case I make a spelling mistake, I'm just going to grab this. So const expressions router, express.router. Then it's asking me to use app.use and pass through the endpoint.
The endpoint, yes, /expressions.
And the router. And then the last part of the question, it says, after doing so, create a route for your expressions router that will send all expressions for a get request. Well, there is one right there that I could use. So I'll test that out.
Oh, because it has expressions, you have to change it to just /.
Yeah. Using multiple router files. Generally, we will keep each router in its own file and require them in the main application. This allows us to keep our code clean and our file short. To do this with monsters router, we would create a new file, monsters.js, and move all code related to the /monsters request into it. So we've got the data saved into an object. Then we are requiring an express and we're creating a router. And then we've got the monsters router .get. And obviously, like you said, this is going to prepend a route there.
Yeah, /monsters in this case. And below that, we're exporting this router so that we can import it in the app.js, which in this example, they call it main.js.
So it says here, let's start to refactor our expressions route to expressions.js, which is this file. Pull this down so they can see. Open the expressions.js file, create an expressions router instance of express.router. Okay. I'm just going to copy that again so I don't make the spelling mistakes. So
Yep.
const equals express dot router.
Correct.
Export expressions router from that file with module.exports. So module.exports equals expressions router. Remove your old expressions router from app.js. So the old expressions router is there. And make sure it is mounted at expressions. Remove your old expressions router from app.js. Require your expressions router from expressions.js. So I'll probably put that at the top. So const equals require. And I'm just going to pass in the expressions.js.
You can do it without the JS as well.
Move your get expressions handler from app.js to expressions.js. So move your expressions router, which is this one. You'll have to also move the expressions array to that file. Finally, make sure that you move the seed elements expressions line into that file as well. Okay. So they were just above each other, which was there.
Yes. That's so we have access to the data that we are manipulating in that route.
Matching in nested routes. So, okay, so we've got some images.
Yeah, basically what we were saying is that if you use the app.use, when you give it a path, when you go to use that in the router, you don't need to path, you just need to add the slash and whatever it needed to come after the slash animals or the slash expressions, because it will get prepended with that already.
Refactoring expressions routes. Now that you've learned about nested route matching, let's refactor the rest of the expressions routes into expressions.js. Move all your expressions routes to your router in expressions.js. Make sure that they still match the same request paths and remove the duplicate code from app.js. Okay, so I'll do that first. I'll just make this a little bit bigger. So I'm going to have expressions, but what I'm going to do is, because I know I'm going to be using a router, I'll just remove the
slash expressions because it's prepended. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll just get rid of that one as well.
So yeah, this what we're doing is here to clean up that app.js so it has less code and it could be cleaner. But yeah, that's the last one.
Yeah, let me go back to the instructions.
Yeah.
So move the following routes to expressions.js. Yeah, I've done that. Remember to change the paths for each route handler as you move them, as they should already be mounted at /expressions inside that. So, sorry, it's in the app.js file, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep,
Here
so
you
there it is. Yeah.
The only thing that you have left is to change the routes from app to use expressions router.
Yeah. Yeah. And to bring in the helper functions, which I think they've already done for us because they look like the helper functions.
Yeah.
So I'll have the expressions router. And then, yeah, you're right. I got to change these. Yep. Let's run that. Green tick. Okay, so refactoring the animals routes. The training wheels are coming off. So it's asking to refactor all the animal routes in animals.js. So I'll try and give this a go, see how far I get. Okay, so I'll go into the animals route. So I need const express equals require express. Oh, spelled that wrong. And then it's asking me to create an animal router. So const animal router equals express dot router. Okay. And then inside the app, I will
Import
actually
it.
inside the animals, I'm going to say module dot exports equals the router. So I'm going to need to require this right there. So I'm going to say const equals require. That is going to be found at /
Animals.
animals.js. Like you said, I can leave the JS off.
Yes.
So the next thing would be is I'm going to need those two things. Because like you said in the last one, I'm going to need access to
the data that you're using in those routes.
And then what I'm going to do at the top is I'm just going to do the app.use before I forget. App.use. I'm going to pass in the router, and then the first argument is
/
/animals.
Correct.
And I'll just get rid of the space. And then before I lift these all out, I'm just going to remove the routes. Well,
the extra path that you don't need.
Yeah, I put that in there. Let's just get rid of these two as well. Yeah, I'll just do that. Should be able to copy them. So I'll just lift these two for now. Okay, I'll just pop them there. It should just be the delete. Yep. I'm going to check that. Probably is an error. Okay. So let me just have a quick look. I know what I've done. The same mistake again, Will, which you've told me about.
Yeah, change them.
Yeah.
And there's also something else that I don't know if you have noticed, but you're using a lot of helper functions, and I think you need to import them.
Okay. Yeah. So I could probably grab them from this. And I think we should be there. Okay. So we're almost there. Let me just have a double check to see if I've missed anything. Yeah, I'm not using the router. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Sorry there. So I'm bringing it in from there. Got that. Okay, so they've put theirs there. So I'll just follow that convention and put mine there. So that all looks normal to me.
I think it's the exports. I think you have named it export with a single. I think it's in the modular exports. I think you need an S.
Oh, you're right. Wow, I could have been looking for that for a long time. Okay, so great job. You created a much more readable and clean code base using Express.router. Writing clean code and readable code is one of the most important skills as a developer. This will make adding new features much easier as your APIs expand.
So yeah, we have gained some better practices just from this exercise, and we are going to continue this series. So please like and subscribe and turn on the notifications so that you get a notification when the next video of this series comes out. And thanks for watching.